So here's the first piece I cut out. This piece is actually this is to the dress. And that, you notice I left a little border. My mom says you leave a border because they don't give you a lot of times enough sewing room. Or that was it, right? Not a margin of error? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. And then if you use the pattern more than once, eventually the pattern is kind of gonna get, ruined, more. So, now me personally, I'm planning on scanning these so I can keep a copy of them. So, that's why you give a border. And she gave me a Ziploc bag to keep them in because they tend to fly. And I remember that because when my mom was sewing, she sometimes was doing it in my room, and I'd be looking under my bed and I'd find a piece that she had wound up missing. So that's why we have the Ziploc bag. Okay, I just noticed this. Okay, now this is the number 1 piece. Now, you don't have to worry because they also put the number on the little thing too, on the inside. So I didn't have to. I thought I had to remove this and put it with the piece. But they tell you, you see, cut 2. I'll be cutting 2 of this piece when I do the fabric. So that's what that means. Whew. Cutting is done, folks. So what I did, I put pieces of paper in between each part to kind of keep the pattern pieces separate from each other. But then I was beginning worried as I was cutting. I realized I was at risk of possibly cutting out some of the instructions, like that are written on the pattern. So I cut them out and also put them in a separate baggie and separated them with pieces of paper. Now some of them, these are for different outfits, but like if you notice, like with this, the instructions are actually written on the piece. So this is surprisingly extremely tiring, just the cutting out part, and kind of overwhelming. I have some eBay customers that bought wedding dresses and Renaissance patterns from me, and those are some of the most difficult patterns that you can get. And they're very impressive, but some of them are beginner sewers, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna make this Renaissance pattern, and I always feel kind of a little weird. You don't want to be discouraging, and yet you have this thing, I don't accept returns if you cut them. But so, those people, and this is just a little doll pattern in it, I was kind of feeling a little overwhelmed. And, so it is very tiring, so that's all I'm going to do today. Oh, by the way, I mentioned earlier, that you don't have to, or at least my mom never bothers, washing this stuff unless it's cotton and ironing, and unless it's wrinkled. But for my foreign friends, in the United States we tend to have pre-shrunk color fast clothes, so we don't have some of the problems like we used to. When I was a kid, that wasn't always the case, and we did have to worry about shrinking and color fat, things running. And I remember the days when we had to separate our whites from our colored clothes. That stopped we've stopped having to do that because our clothes are pre-shrunk and they're color fast, so that's not a problem anymore. I'm not sure if you folks that are watching me from other countries, I know a lot of other countries are fond of natural fabrics, and I don't know what else, your clothes are like. So, in your case, you might have to it might be a good idea if you wash them first, make sure they don't run, make sure they don't shrink, so forth and so on. So, there we are. Oh, I thought I might show how to kind of fold these up nicely. Now, they'll never look like they did when they first came out of the package. but I find it's good to go along with their natural folds. Doing very carefully, kind of smoothing out the edges here, and yeah, there's always a rebel corner, it seems, that doesn't want to go down. Okay, and okay, so that part goes that way, and that. Okay, and then that part seems to go this way, and then that one part goes that way. Oh, excuse me. I hope you saw some of that at least. And then we've got a part that goes like that. And, you know, I think that looks pretty good for that. And I wonder if I can get it to fit in the package. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, I might just put it in a big Ziploc pack and put everything in there.